Okay, so welcome to part two. And now we talked about the actual story, the plot, and all that. Well, now we're going to talk about how we like the book and why and all that kind of stuff. So, Wheeler, you go first.
I like the book so far. I thought it was pretty good. I really like Charlie, his personality. Like, I don't know, I think he's a nice guy in the way like he reacts to situations. Like, the way he's not completely smart, but he's still nice. I think it kind of has a purpose in real life. Like, not even the smartest people, they're not necessarily the nicest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So far I'm liking the book. I would read it even if I didn't have to.
I really like the book. Well, I like how the writing in the book because it's
Journal.
self-narration, like a first-person narration.
First-person book.
So
Yeah.
it's like the spelling is actually bad in the beginning, and then it gets better and better. I like
found
how
that
they.
annoying, actually.
Yeah,
I hate that
it
bad
hurts
spelling.
my brain, but I like how they add.
Yeah, at first, I find you
How
could
we
read
did
because
that.
it's just like he just spelled things basically how it sounds. Right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, sometimes he would spell it not how it sounds. It was just like bad spelling.
Yeah,
Like,
so, like I
replace
found
letters.
when I was reading the first.
If you read it like perfectly, it sounds not right.
But I definitely like the book. I like the whole plot, and seeing how someone in this situation reacts to the world around him in situations where he has to do something, but he doesn't know how to do it, and it's the first time for him, even though he's an adult.
Well, something like that I found, like you tell a story about something, and you say, oh, I don't understand why, then at first you don't understand why, but then you realize that's through his mind, and you realize what it actually is. Like, I don't know an example, but sometimes you talk about something, you're like, what is he talking about? Then you realize he's talking about something that's normal for us, then he just does
Yeah,
it.
because you're like looking at it through like the
Through his mind,
eyes
yeah.
of the like mentally challenged guy.
Yeah,
Charlie.
because even though he's getting smarter, he still has to go back and reflect on what happened to him in the past to understand it. It's not just like
Well,
quick, I
he
understand.
doesn't really remember. Like, later on in the book, you see that he didn't remember stuff before.
Yeah, well, it was that TV while he was sleeping thing that would like speak to him as he was sleeping.
Is that what you think is?
That was just to help him.
Yeah,
the
it was to
operation did the
help
most,
him.
like, just to speed it up, basically.
And then how he didn't realize that the operation was doing anything, because he said, "I thought when I woke up."
Like he's getting smarter. He just
Yeah.
He
feels
thought he was gonna wake up smart the next day.
Exactly. And then the doctor said, "No, it's gonna help you retain what you learn."
Mm-hmm.
So it's obvious through his writing that he's retaining
So
it.
the TV was like saying just information.
No, I don't know. It was like saying remember.
Yeah, I kept saying remember over and over
Like-
again.
I don't know what it said. It said different stuff, but so why did you like the book, Nancy?
I like the book because, well, I found at the beginning, I was reading the first bit. I found that kind of annoying at first because the spelling is all wrong, and but even though it shows that like how he's gonna progress, right? Because I just took a little skim through the book and I said, okay, here it's terrible and here it's good, so he must be progressing somehow. And I liked that it actually shows kind of a reality of the mentally disabled, and it was a good choice to go with a journal, I find, because if it was just some random person talking about him,
Yeah, well, if it was like narrated, it would have been like
It would have been less.
It wouldn't have been as personal,
because you're
you know?
not in his.
you're not in his
mind.
mind kind of thing.
Yeah.
You
And
don't
the journal is supposed to
understand
be,
what he's thinking.
yeah, the journal is supposed to be letting everything that he thinks out. So it really shows how he was before and how he is going to be.
Also, one thing, I think Professor Nemur.
Yeah,
Nemur.
Is Niemer the
Who's-
one?
I don't know which one. One of them
One of the
was
doctors.
was talking, and he said that Charlie was like not a person before.
Yeah.
Maybe that was just what I just read. But I saw that Charlie got upset about that because, well, Charlie was like, he told the story to Charlie, now you're actually a person, but then Charlie was mad because he said I was a person before, but then you said, yeah, but it was different.
Some moments were sad like that.
Yeah, like,
It's like-
a lot of
it's
his like history,
and
like all the times he got bullied, he got
when,
peed on,
Yeah.
When Frankie, is his name right?
Frank, and he kicked him.
Yeah.
Then he had a
When
wet
Frank-
dream.
Yeah, I had a wet dream about Miss Kenyan.
No, it was
No, about
when,
some
when
other
Frank,
girl.
when Frank like bullies him like at the party and like the
Yeah,
alarm
yeah.
sounds, I find it sad and stuff like he just
And they're
thinks
trying to
they're
give
his
him more
friends.
tequila or something.
Yeah, but then he gets. Oh, then he's like one time that's what I was telling you about. Like he doesn't understand something, but we understand it. Like when he said, he told him like I don't want to drink anymore. But then he said, he said they just gave me a Coke. But he said it tasted funny. It was actually
Yeah.
a rum and coke, probably.
He didn't understand.
But he just thought it was a bad taste in his mouth. So like we understood that they gave him a rum and coke, but he didn't understand that. So, yeah, and so reason why I like the book. Well, first of all, at first when I came, like first started reading the book, I really didn't want to read it because I didn't get my choice in book.
Yeah.
But then as I read more and more, I sort of got like more into it, and like it didn't become homework. It became more as like
Leisure. Kind
Oh,
of.
I got
leisure
nothing
reading.
to do. I was just
Yeah,
reading.
that's it. That's kind of how I
it
felt.
was exactly like I wanted to continue reading, but then I stopped because I didn't have time. But it, was, like, it
Yeah.
became a good book. I want to keep reading, not just because that's like reading for school, like most of the books we read here. It was an actual book like I want to continue reading. Like I'll get it. Like I'll probably read it over Christmas break just because I
Yeah,
want to, not
yeah,
because
same.
I have to.
Well, it's better than the books we read last year. Like,
Yeah, I find some of the books that we read in the past were really like, it was a
not to
chore
mean-
to read them.
Not to be mean, but Catching the Ride was super depressing.
Catcher in the Rye is a different story.
Yeah.
No even action.
Especially if we wrote like Martin in the Winter.
You think something would happen at the end, but no.
Hmm?
Something, yeah, you think something would happen, but it doesn't. Anyway, back to Flowers for Algernon.
So I'll lean back.
So I really liked it. Just how I like seeing how Charlie developed. Like because right now he's like when if we're back to the beginning, he's sort of like a child. When I was like he's developed. I think right now mentally sort of like in like the 13-year-old. Right now mentally, emotional, or maybe like the 15, 16-year-old emotionally.
Because he's supposed to be 32.
I think he's. I don't think he's in his 20s. Like mentally,
he's
like
in his-
emotionally.
Maybe
Oh no, he's way down there.
Because he's still. Because remember
Way
he
down
said.
there.
Remember he said.
Emotionally,
remember he
13.
said. But remember when he said all teenage boys have a crush on their teacher. Well, like I'm not saying about teachers, but like 13-year-old boys have crushes on like a lot, like
A lot of
easily.
people.
So
Yeah.
like, he was saying. He at one point he said, "I think I'm in love," when he probably isn't because he's 13 years old and.
Well, yeah.
Well, like
mentally,
emotionally.
yeah. But I think it's one part where they go back and he's just writing his journal and he says, "I went back to read my past entries and I can't believe how stupid I was."
Yeah, I remember when he said that. Yeah,
I find that
they didn't
was,
want him to fix all of his mistakes.
yeah, when he asked the doctor. That was funny.
Yeah, that was good.
So,
So yeah, I really want to keep reading this book. I usually don't like books that are not series because I like series. I hate just ending the story in a one book thing. But this book actually.
It's always
Don't
sad
mind
when
it.
like a book ends and there's no more.
Well,
to
I
read.
I feel like the ending's gonna be sad, and I don't want the ending to be sad. Because I really
You can
like the
just
book.
read really slowly.
Yeah.
and another good part is when they're trying to teach Charlie how to do the rolls at the bakery.
Yeah.
Oh, then.
And he kind of actually understands it while they're guiding him through it. They actually understand it, or he actually understands it.
No,
so-
yeah, you're just imitating them. He
You're
doesn't
just
understand.
imitating
You're
them.
just imitating
Just
them.
his
But
then-
then he can't retain
his
it.
capacity. Yeah, his capacity. to
Then
remember
later on,
that.
he's able to do the dough machine, whatever it was, and he worked better and he got a pay raise
Oliver,
even at that.
what- yeah.
Yeah.
Because Oliver quit.
Is he?
You can
Oliver
see that-
quit or did he?
Oliver quit.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah. So I like that part too. It's like
That's good.
that's the milestone. Like now everyone stopped making fun of him. They're like afraid of him now, almost like. Is he gonna take my job now? Like, what's going on? Like, why is he smart?
Because
Like,
he's advancing.
he shouldn't be doing that.
Well, people were kind of getting scared of him because he's kind of getting smarter and less dumb.
And like what they've done to him in the past, they never expected him to like remember it. But now he's gonna remember it because he's getting smarter. So
Like,
it's
you remember that one time when about the girl with the necklace, and how
Yeah.
one of the guys wrote like a dirty note to his sister.
And he wanted to give it to her, so then he wrote it for him.
Yeah, but then from then on he
He
I
wanted
think
to
it was like
start,
6 or something like that. And yeah.
and he said, "I wanted to start reading and writing myself because he doesn't trust
He
you."
didn't trust
he didn't
people.
trust other people and write notes for him.
Remember like one time when this is another story when he was dressing up like his sister. And his mom got mad at him. I think his mom was like in denial, and that's why she gave him up to the home. 'Cause she was in denial that her son was mentally.
Yeah, she's really.
And her dad wanted to accept it, but I think the dad left her because of that.
20 seconds.
Yeah.
All right, so
Part 3 coming up.
no,
Yeah.
no, we're gonna end it
Are
right
we not
here.
done?
Rest of you
End of the book
20
club
seconds.
meeting. See you at book club meeting number 2 after the Christmas break. Good day.